everybody, good morning. Sorry I got started a little late. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. How you doing? It's FTG Thursday, and I'm sure that I'll come up with a couple FTGs for you. But first, let's play the intro because I got a lot going on. As you can tell from from Gunfox in the chat, yes, there's a lot of salt out there. I'm thinking at least a couple different oceans full of salt, and we're going to get to it in just a second. Play the intro! Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. And stop the music. Yeah, I cut that off a little early. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the Morning Night Live on this beautiful February 6, 2020. I am PDawg Knight, your host, and I am so happy that you all are here. Yes, we have salt in the Americas, but, you know, sometimes you just don't get your way, even if you do throw a temper tantrum. And, you know, it's just how it goes. The other day, well, after the State of the Union, as I told you yesterday, I believe, I watched the State of the Union. And on C-SPAN, because that's the only place I can watch that kind of stuff, because I don't want to hear pundits tell me what I heard. I don't want pundits to tell me what to think. And the other cool thing is that they have people come on. They'll have a phone line. They'll just have regular old Americans will call in on C-SPAN. They have a line for Democrats. They have a line for Republicans, and they have a line for independents. And you're supposed to call in on your line. Now, granted, apparently, occasionally, someone will call on the wrong line. But whatever. You're getting you're getting the feelings from regular Americans, right? And as I told you, the performance by a certain sector of the live audience for the State of the Union didn't go over so well. Let's just put it that way. And like I said, so I lo and behold, I get this article this morning, and backfire. I will never vote Democrat again, says angry Democrats on C-SPAN after Pelosi tantrum. Yes, and this is by someone named Megan Fox, not the dark-haired lovely from the Transformer movies, but a different Megan Fox. But anyway, this is the most satisfying video series you'll see all day. After Pelosi and her white witches threw little fits of rage last night at the State of the Union, they felt very smug about themselves. Their voters, on the other hand, felt differently. Turns out, most Americans think you should stand up and clap for the good things that happen in America, instead of sulk and pout on your butt like a spoiled child. Also known as SALT. C-SPAN asked people to call in and give their opinions on the State of the Union. What happened after that was brilliant. And rather than read what this says, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to show you a clip that someone named Maggie Vanderberg, a Fog City Midge, if you want to retweet that too. This is what the clip that Mandy Vanderberg put together. Listen to this. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'll do it after this. Hang on.
I've been a Democrat for 70-something years. And what I've seen tonight of the Democrat Party, I am changing my mind. I mean, I'll probably still be a Democrat. But as far as I'm electing for a goddamn Democrat, never again.
I am a Democrat as well, but no longer will I vote Democrat. I think it's outrageous that they sat there when all these good things are happening to our country and how much we love our country, and they look...
Oops, sorry there. You know what? Why does this do this? This did once when I was listening to it before. Hang on. Let's see if I can get it to work again. Hang on, refresh, and
Like they hated our country. And Nancy Pelosi, the whole time she's sitting up there with a disgusting look on her face, it's outrageous. I will never vote Democrat again, and I'm sick of it. And my whole family feels the same way. My husband, my friends are sitting here, all former Democrats. We all voted for Hillary last time, and therefore never, ever will we ever vote Democrat again. You know, it's always portrayed that the Democrats don't love their country. Well, we love our country, and we want to see it succeed. But it appears to us that our Democratic Party has been stolen from us by a bunch of communists. And no longer will our family ever vote Democrat again.
I am literally disgusted with Pelosi and the Democrats' behavior, the way she teared up his speech behind him at the end. I was a registered Democrat. I've gone independent. I'm leaning GOP now.
With a simple rip of a paper, Nancy Pelosi has pretty much sealed the deal of a re-election of Donald Trump.
So yeah, that was from the Democrat line, and you know, obviously the people from the Republican line were also not too happy with Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats. You know, I mean, there's certain things. Oh, by the way, let me get a little music flow here. You know what I decided to do today? So yesterday I think it was a little bit of a reggae feel. Today, I think I'm going for a little 80s pop feel. Does that sound good? Maybe not, but that's where I'm going today. We're going a little 80s pop feel. Oh, I can't hear that. Can you hear that? Oh. Anyway, all right. Let's real quick before I move on. Let's say good morning to everybody who's here while I'm thinking about it. Today, first in the chat today was my friend Richo. You get the bell, sir. There you go. Also, good morning, Advocatus Diaboli, Gunfox61, Tyler F, Ginger Power. Scrolling down, Necrosol Collins, Patrice Ripley, my personal K-pop aficionado. Good morning, Becca Farley. Oh man, I gotta scroll a little bit because okay, RVA. Good morning. Who else is here? IRRI. Good morning. Also, DI Freighter and Shiagraph and MC Hammer Time, good morning. Trucker Matt, also known as, Pumpkin Trucker Matt, I'm glad you're here. Also, what Getz is, interesting. Getz is recommending criminal charges against Pelosi for destruction of official government documents. Has that been addressed yet? No, I haven't talked about that. And I think that's, I think it'd be good to rebuke Nancy Pelosi. Actual charges, I'm not a fan of that. Anyway, good morning, Chi-Town J, Smarty Bear. I'm scrolling a lot here. Renovatio, Jeremy Johnson, Struggling Paradox. Hey, what's happening? I don't see that name often. I know I've seen it. I think I've seen it once before. But anyway, I'm glad you're all here. So, Matt Getz. Let's see. The United States National Archives have announced President Trump intends to purge records concerning the children detainees from at the border. Don't let the whitewashing of history occur. Interesting. If you have a link to that announcement, I would like to see it. I'd like to see what you're talking about. I'm not so sure. I'm gonna until I have some. Well, give me some kind of documentation on that. I don't know what you're talking about, so let me know. I would absolutely like to see what you're talking about there. All right, let's get going here. Oh, by the way, also, thank you so much for RVA, Necrosol Collins, Tyler F, Becca, and I think that's everyone who have tweeted out the show this morning. If you'd be so kind, if you haven't done so already, here, let me see if do I have the tweet here still? Yep, there you go. There's the tweet. If you are on Twitter, please retweet that. You can like it if you want, but retweet is what really helps. Or you can hit the share arrow down below and share this out on your favorite social media, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, whatever, all those, the ABCs of social media. Also, a reminder that if you like what we do, hit the like button. Even if you disagree with me, hit the like button, or, whatever, something like that. And also, if you want to do super chats or participate in the show or be a permanent part of the show, you can do that through the Streamlabs link in the description down below. That'll show up in the chat every once in a while also. A couple other names that showed up. Good morning, Brenda Fry. Is that a new name? Well, look, if you're a name that you haven't been here before, make sure you hit the subscribe button also. And hit the bell so that you can make sure that you are, that you get notifications. Or even or you can go at PDawg Night on Twitter and you'll get notifications from me. So one way or another, you'll make sure that you don't miss the show. All right, let's get into it. And actually, I'm serious, IRRI. If you have a link to that, because I haven't seen, that would be something that would probably immediately trend on Twitter if that were the case. I haven't seen it yet, but if it's something that just popped up, I really like to see that and see what that really is. So anyway, all right. Oh, and also thank you, Chi-Town Jay, and who also just tweeted out the show. All right, let's get into it. It's a it's a fascinating thing. The whole State of the Union, the whole impeachment thing. As you know, I'm sure you've heard this. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But the Senate, on almost a strict party line vote, minus one senator, voted to acquit President Trump of the impeachment charges, right? And Mitt Romney actually did vote to convict on one of the charges, but not both. Now, look, Mitt Romney is his own man. People are calling him traitor and whatever, this and that. And some people are one side's calling him a hero, one side's calling him a traitor. You know what? I have no problem with Mitt Romney, right? Mitt Romney can do what he wants. He can. He's accountable to his constituents. Okay, in the state of Utah, I don't care. If he voted his conscience, he voted his conscience. However, Article 2 of the impeachment of President Donald John Trump should have been the article that the entire Senate should have immediately rejected. Okay? The obstruction of Congress. And that's the one that Romney didn't vote for. He voted for whatever the other first one was. Whatever it was. I don't care. I'm blanking. I don't even know why I'm blanking on it, but I'm blanking on it. That obstruction of Congress one is complete and utter bullshit. And they know it. And they know that they didn't go through any of the procedures that normally should have been gone through, okay? If you have a dispute between two branches of government, the legislative branch and the executive branch, abuse of power, thank you. There is a third branch that adjudicates or settles disputes between the other two branches. That would be the judicial branch. And the House Democrats, because this has nothing to do with the Republicans in the House. The House Democrats chose to forego that because they wanted to have an impeachment of the president. They say before Christmas, but I want to say before the election season started warming up. This was a strictly political ploy as far as the Article 2 it had no merit because they hadn't gone through any of the normal procedures. And if the executive branch wants to fight in court over some of the documents or some of the witnesses, that is their prerogative. And I cannot believe that 47 members of the United States Senate don't understand that. Okay? If that were something that you can impeach a president for, they would have impeached Barack Obama. They would have impeached George W. Bush. They would have impeached William Jefferson Clinton for more than what they already did. They would have impeached George H.W. Bush. They would have impeached Ronald Reagan. They would have impeached Jimmy Carter. Gerald Ford, I doubt. I'm not sure if they would have impeached, because Gerald Ford wasn't there long enough and never got reelected anyway. It is absolutely the right of the executive branch to make a claim of privilege and have the Congress go fight him in the courts over it. The courts certainly can expedite any disputes between the executive and the legislative branch if it's important enough. Okay? They knew they had nothing. They knew that they knew that the courts were not going to help them at all. All right? And so they come up with this bullshit, and I'm straight up bullshit. Second article called Obstruction of Congress. Notice it didn't say obstruction of justice. Obstruction of Congress over something that they refused to. The only subpoenas they issued, they withdrew. They didn't even give the executive branch a chance to fight subpoenas in court. They said, nope, if you do not immediately acquiesce to what the Congress says, you are immediately impeachable. Seriously? So Eric Holder, then they held him in contempt of Congress because he refused to testify. Is that obstruction of Congress also? Should they have impeached the president for claiming that his attorney general has privilege? It's insanity. It's insanity. And then we get, okay, so now that's one thing. Now, the abuse of power, you could argue that. Sure, you could argue it. I think what they wanted to do, since they've been trying to impeach the president, or trying to find a reason to impeach the president since the day after the election of 2016, and the Russia thing didn't quite work out for them, they had to find something. So they did. Whatever. Fight over that. Hey, now and they knew they didn't have a chance in hell of getting 20 Republicans to vote for impeachment. They already knew that. So basically, this was a political ploy, in my opinion, straight up political ploy to damage Trump however they could. Well, I got a little news for you. Before that, there's a couple people I got to say hi to, though. Let's see. Good morning, Mitch the Ripper, Jeremy Johnson. I said hi to Brenda Fry. Let's see. Who else? Green Thunder to Mighty, Maniac Man, and Renovasio. I think I said hi. Good morning, Kessler, Chicago Mike. And I think I caught up. Peter Allman, what's happening? Cynical Lindsay, how you doing? All right. So let's just figure out what are some of the what are some of the results of the impeachment, the State of the Union antics? Well, hello, Check Your Logic. How you doing? Hi, Ryan himself. What's happening? What are some of the results of some of these antics by the Democratic Party? Well, for the first time since 2004, more people view Republican Party favorably than the Democratic Party. Oh my God. Oh, and also the little debacle in Iowa. I'm sure this has something to do with it. Anyway, majority, 51% views Republican Party favorably. Additionally, the poll finds 48% of Americans identifying as Republican are leaning toward that party, compared with 44% Democratic identification are leading. That's new. Amid the Democrats' Parliament impeachment witch hunt, President Trump is enjoying the highest approval numbers of his presidency. Gallup's most recent poll shows a stunning uptick in approval of the Republican Party, with the GOP favorably breaking 50% for the first time since 2005. Trump's all-time high job approval rating has him +4 over Obama at this time in his third tier. Here's the numbers. The Gallup presidential job approval at this time in their first term. Carter was at 58%, but his went down very quickly in his the last year of his presidency. Reagan 55%, H.W. Bush 47%, Clinton 52%, W. Bush 49%, Obama 45%, and Trump 49%. Trump is now ahead of Obama, tied with W, and only third behind Clinton, with 9 months to go until the election. Now, that can always change. Trump can do something stupid too, but because it's kind of funny because people expect this particular president to do outrageous things. So I don't know what it would have to be. It would have to be pretty completely outrageous. Anyway, the Republican Party, according to Gallup, is also enjoying a high favorability numbers and a greater percentage of Americans identifying as Republican or Republican leaning at 48% to Democrat leaning at 44%. As Trump's Gallup reports, as Trump's job approval rating has improved, so has the image of the Republican Party. Now 51% of Americans view the Republican Party favorably, up from 43%. That's a 7-point swing. Holy shit. 43% in September. It is the first time the GOP favorably has exceeded 50% since 2005. Meanwhile, 45% of Americans have a positive opinion of the Democratic Party, a slight dip from 48% in September. Additionally, the poll finds 48% of Americans identifying as Republicans are leaning toward that party, compared to 44% of Democratic identification or leaning. Recent Gallup polls have shown a fairly even partisan distribution after the Democratic Party held advantages for much of 2019. This poll was conducted January 16 through 29. So, that does not include the last 2 weeks. So it'd be interesting to see if they do a rolling poll, how that works out. I thought maybe the impeachment trial, whatever you call it, could change things. And I thought, because it does the impeachment thing make the Republican Party look bad for supporting the president? But first of all, Americans don't pay that close attention. They only pay attention. They only see what they read in the, in the papers and on the news, which is almost always negative for Trump. So I gotta think that they're already used to hearing negative stuff about Trump. But do you think maybe the rip heard across the world? Hello, Duck Dog. I see you lurking. The rip heard across the world could cause more harm to the Democratic Party and make them look at the State of the Union address, where Donald Trump is up there talking about so many positive things and Democrats just scowling the entire time. Do you just? You thought that's the other thing when he decided that he was going to do the State of the Union on the day that Nancy Pelosi invited him, and this whole impeachment thing was still up in the air, and then he makes this totally upbeat, positive speech, not even referring to the impeachment. Someone said, where's the thing here? The power move. It was a bold move. I don't know what power move you're talking about, but I think it was very smart of him just to be positive and talk about what's been happening. And of course, the media hates him and is going to say he's lying about everything, yada, yada, yada. But they can't argue the economic numbers. And that's what he touted the most. And that's what he should have done. Now, you know me, I'm a Trump skeptic in a sense. I'm always worried about the whole, that's the way I was. I'm not, I'm not a Trump guy, but gosh, I think, I'm gonna wait till election day, but if it were today, yeah, I wouldn't even think about voting for a Democrat, any of them, and I probably wouldn't anyway. But because I've been a Republican for years, like 30, whatever, since 1980, whatever, 84. But my skepticism of Trump, at least as far as what he does, not what he says and how he acts, I'm not thrilled with it. But the things he gets done, I'm okay with. In fact, I'm pleasantly pleased, pleasantly surprised. So. I'm not one of those. You're never gonna see me brand myself with a MAGA hat, or because I have my own brand. I'm PDawg Night. I'm Marty. I'm the guy who sits behind this, this thing. And when Trump is done in January 2024, then he goes back to whatever he does and probably retire after the presidency. My brand doesn't change. I don't have to change my brand, okay? But it sure makes it a lot easier to support the president when, when he's doing the right things as far as the country goes, and two, when the Democrats act like they have lost their damn minds, okay? If they focus so much on him, of course he goads them into focusing on him, but they focus so much on him that they look stupid, and the American people are starting to see it too. Now, it'd be interesting to see what these Gallup numbers are going to look like in a week. But and even if it's a temporary bump due to Democratic overreach on impeachment, no, it's not, because, well, maybe it could be. People are looking at this going, what are you all doing? What exactly is this about? Y'all look stupid. Hey, then they look stupid, right? So anyway, Lindsay, not gonna lie though, I'm worried that once the older generation starts dying off and the millennials start taking over government, millennials favor socialism type policies. Well, maybe. It's interesting because most of my friends, when they were at that age that the millennials are now, were like that too. I mean, in many ways, but guess what? Once you start having kids, once you have jobs, once you start paying taxes, once you start seeing what's actually going on with your family and the schools and everything that goes on, you go, what you talk about, Willis? What the hell is this? What the hell is this? Where are my Remember that? It's funny because there was a video of Cardi B, the former stripper and now pop music sensation. And it was before she decided she was gonna support Bernie Sanders. And she had a little video out there of her just talking to the camera going, where is my money going? Why am I paying so much in taxes? Where's my money? Where is my money? Where's my money? Where's my money? What are you doing with my taxes? Why am I paying so much taxes? Where's my money? Well, when you have kids and you have, or you get a little old, even if you don't have kids, once you start getting a little older and you start making a little money and you go, wow, they're taking a lot of money out in taxes. Where are all these taxes going? I got to talk about the Democrat response too. Anyway, I'll try to remember that. Maybe I'll get to it. I'm on a tangent today. I can tell already. But when they start paying taxes and they start having to actually see what just the dumb shit their government does, or the fact that they can't count votes in Iowa, you just begin to wonder, what the hell are these people doing? I'm just saying. By the way, how's the music level? I can't tell. If it's about right, I'll keep going. Who's this FICA bitch? She owes me money. Yeah, who the hell is FICA? Hello, Gazira Lane. Gazira Lane. I'm going to say it. That's how I'm going to say it from now on. Gazira Lane. I am by far the most far-right person in my family, and I'm a 30-year-old millennial, sadly. Yeah, you know what? There's a lot. You know what? Don't. Those people who are closer to my age, don't give up on the millennials. There are plenty of millennials who also are on the conservative side. It's probably the same as it's always been. What music? Zombie Teddy, how you doing? That's very funny. If you don't hear music, okay, thank you, Renovaccio. Thank you for an actual answer, Renovaccio. Zombie Teddy, come on, man. Hey, good morning, though. I do say good morning. All right. But remember, the millennials and the Zoomers, too, are a little more conservative, too. And in fact, I think of... Okay, so I think back in the 80s when I was... I finished high school and was in college in the 80s. And our president was Ronald Reagan, right? And so a lot of times the people who are growing up during the age of a president, a certain president, tend to at least not mimic but absorb the ideas of that president. So a lot of people of my generation who were around during the Reagan era, you know, that kind of rubs off on you, right? And, you know, we've had an era of, you know, a lot of millennials had Clinton, but they didn't know they were young then. They didn't know anything about anything. And they had George Bush, the 9/11 era. Okay, you had Barack Obama, who supposedly was supposed to make things better for the world, and it, you know, he fixed some things in a very gradual, haphazard sort of way. And then you have Trump, okay? And so a lot of people super enthusiastic about Obama, a lot of people super enthusiastic about Trump, and you just, you know what, you absorb your era. So it'll just be interesting to see. I don't think that the socialist loving, you know, the professors and whatever college people who are pushing the socialism, I don't think that takes hold. I think as soon as you start having kids, as soon as you start worrying about what your bills are going to be, you're like, oh, wait a minute. So you want me to pay more to have someone who's not working? Oh my gosh, sorry. My reparations coffee and the eggs I had this morning came up. You start having kids, you start having, you're in your job, and you start thinking, wait a minute, I'm supposed to pay for someone who's sitting on their ass or not, who doesn't have any ambition or who's not working their ass off. You know, maybe I'm working two jobs, or maybe, you know, we're just trying to, you know, we're trying to take care of our family. So here's the thing. I was thinking about this the other day. Socialism is a wonderful idea when you are invested in the people that you are practicing socialism with. Socialism is not so much a good idea when you're using socialism as a tool to people you don't know. Now, here's what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is socialism works on a small scale. If you think of your immediate family, or oftentimes your maybe your extended family, maybe you're taking care of kids and you're taking care of parents. That socialism as a small group, a very small unit, is almost, it's necessary because, first of all, you need to be able to take care of your kids, right? You need to be able to, or parents or grandparents or whatever, however that family unit works, that is what you need to do. However, you're invested in those people. You have a tie to those people. You have, you can control, or at least have some say in what everyone contributes to that system. The problem is, on a large scale, as far as a nation, there are people who just do more and are going to resent the people who do less and take more. There's people who are going to take more, and they're going to be resented by the people who take less or work more for what you are trying to accomplish. Also, the problem is with socialism as a political system versus free market capitalism as a political system or a social system. Socialism requires, for it to work, an authoritarian central leadership that is going to force people to do this and that for them and those and others and this and that. You can't do socialism as a, it's funny because the term anarcho-communism, I see that term pop up. And I think to myself, no, that's an oxymoron. You cannot have anarcho-communism. You cannot have a decentralized, a governmentless form of communism. You absolutely have to have central control. And then, the people who are in control, well, it's interesting because they can demand of you of what you need to contribute and what you need to give up of what the fruits of your labor, but they don't have to. Why would they have to? They are the benevolent, controlling government that you need to make sure that you take care of them, because if you don't take care of them, then they can't control the socialism, right? It's so, like I said, like I was saying earlier, it's not on a big scale. That's why I think it breaks down. If you think of nature without government, let's say you have a completely anarchist system, no government, right? Well, you take care of the unit that you're in, and the fruits of your labor are yours. If you need to eat, you got to go work to eat, right? You got to go. You got to go hunt. And then you take what you hunt and you share it amongst the small group, that little socialistic group, your family or your very small group, because you have a agreement amongst that small group to do that. But to do it on a large scale in a country of 325 million or 340 million or whatever number of people we have at this point in this country, no way. And it's funny because Bernie Sanders is out here complaining about billionaires all the time. It's because the billionaires. Well, there's only so many billionaires. And it's not that they are, like I said, I always do the Scrooge McDuck analogy. They're not out there with a big room of gold coins that they're diving in and swimming in like Scrooge McDuck. They just happen to think of something that I didn't think of, that I find useful, and I give them my money voluntarily for. But just because they are billionaires doesn't affect whether or not I can live my life in a comfortable way with the fruits of my labor and the agreement that I have with my wife and my family, and however I do my little tiny small scale socialism. Yeah, me and my wife, we are socialists in our house. We both work, we share labor, we share food, we share, our bills, we share our entertainment, we share this, we share that. But I'm not doing it with my neighbor. Okay. Although we do share one strip of our lawn where we make sure that we use that line to make sure we have our lawns mowed, because we both are kind of, into our beautiful grass, right? But, yeah, I don't know. It's just, PDK News reminds me of North Korea news for some reason. I definitely a hashtag day, guys. I always forget the hashtag. Anyway, so I don't know. It's just not something that's going to work on a large scale. All right, rant's over. All right, more of the backfire on the State of the Union. If you're not familiar with Frank Luntz is a journalist and pollster. I don't know if Frank Luntz used to be a Republican pollster or what. I don't know. His pollster always has focus groups. Now he tends to have them on Fox, or he used to have them on Fox. Where did he do this now? Anyway, Frank Luntz was reporting on the focus group's findings following the State of the Union. So here's a little clip of that. Looks like he did. It must be on CNBC. That's where he does it now. All right, here we go. Here's Frank Luntz talking about his results. This is about 36 seconds long. How does it sound?
Is overhyped. It's overcaffeinated. So if you are a left-leaning newspaper, Donald Trump this morning, everybody hated the speech. If you're a right-leaning newspaper, it's a brilliant speech. Our group actually thought that Donald Trump was not inappropriate. They did not think that he was overly partisan. They thought it was a campaign speech for 2020, which obviously it was. But I'm afraid that the people who report the news are actually missing what the voters themselves are saying. We had two undecided voters. They moved towards Trump after the speech was done.
All right, that's one of the clips. Here's I think here's a little bit better clip here. All right, tell you what. This is an 8-minute clip, and normally I probably wouldn't hang on to here. We'll see. We'll watch as much of this as we can. I want to stop to comment on some of the things they say, because I really want to talk about more of the reaction. My day today was going to talk about the reactions to the State of the Union. By the way, can I get? And I'm just going to do one FTG right now. I'm going to do one. Well, let's do a couple. Let's do. Here, I'm just going to put it in the chat until you notice. There's my first FTG. All right, let's check out. Let's go. We're gonna do this on YouTube instead, though, so I can put it on the screen. And here we go.
President Trump delivering his State of the Union address last night. A key theme of the night: the economy.
Hang on.
For analysis, his pollster and political strategist Frank Luntz. He hosted a focus group during the State of the Union in real time, and he is here with proprietary information on how voters reacted in partnership with the LA Times.
This is a blue-collar boom.
By the way, whenever they show clips of Nancy in the back there, who I just gave an FTG to, look at the expressions on her face, and I swear to God, I said this during the State of the Union. It looks like she wanted to swallow her dentures. I'm just saying.
Since my election, U.S. stock
Now
markets
she's reading
have soared.
Oh, hang on. Now she's back there grading papers for her class tomorrow.
70%, adding more than $12 trillion to our nation's wealth, transcending anything anyone believed was possible. This is a record. It is something that every country in the world is looking up to. They admire.
Nobody, look, not a single Democrat clapping. Not a single one for that, for saying, hey. Anyway.
Confidence has just reached amazing new highs.
And Frank Luntz joining us now. Frank, it's good to see you. I've got to imagine we showed a little clip going into the break that the fevers were running hot during this speech last night.
Well, it's very frustrating because if you're a Trump person, everything, every word that Donald Trump said was brilliant. And you absolutely endorsed everything without any hesitation at all. If you don't like Donald Trump, then even though he was reporting specific numbers, statistics that are verifiable and factual, those who don't like him don't care. It doesn't.
Now, here's the other thing, and that's a good point he makes there, because, you know, everything Trump does is kind of a Rorschach test, if you know the ink spot test, you know, when they do the little ink thing. And as I'm looking on Twitter, okay, I'm following things on Twitter and I'm watching the State of the Union, and like people that I actually like on Twitter who are total anti-Trump people were saying, well, everything in that speech was lies. It was all lies. Really? Because the economic numbers are verifiable. And that's what Frank Luntz is saying here. You hated the speech that he was telling and saying that he was lying, but most of the stuff he's saying is verifiable. And we're 3 years into his presidency, so you cannot say, thanks, Obama. No, you can't. We're 3 years into a presidency where Paul Krugman said that if Trump is elected and is inaugurated president, we're going to go into the most severe recession and possibly depression. There's going to be worldwide economic chaos. And yet, here we are. Here we go. Moving on.
Doesn't matter. And on this one issue, the economy, the president is the strongest. The numbers back him up. His own people feel better off than they were 4 years ago.
I listened to, I don't know if you're, I listened to Hotep's Been Told You every once in a while on Thursday nights. And if you're familiar with Uncle Hotep and Hotep Jesus, Uncle Hotep was saying this the other day too. You know, he lives in Philadelphia. And he did a video the other day because he's and Uncle Hotep's very pro-Trump. Hotep Jesus is just lukewarm, but prefers Trump over some of the Democrats. But they're not MAGA people, but they appreciate what the president does. Two black men. And Uncle Hotep was saying the other day, he was saying, I look around where I live in Philadelphia, and all these cats. All of a sudden, all these cats got jobs now that weren't working before. Said everyone's got jobs. Some of these dudes out here, they're making big money. I'm thinking about changing my job to what they're doing because some of them out there making more than me now. They didn't even have jobs before. And that's the thing. You know what? You got 7 million people that are working now that weren't working when President Trump was elected. Do you think they see what's actually happening there? Now, granted, some of them are already anti-Trump, right? But you got to figure that some of these people are like, whether or not Trump is the direct cause of this employment of mine. I wasn't working before, and I am now, and that's what Trump said. Trump says everyone's got jobs, and I got a job, and I'm working now. Or the people who've been lifted out of poverty that some of these Democrats could not even clap for. You know why they can't clap for it? Because they can't take the credit for it. And so they can't, and they sure as F can't let Trump take the credit for it, right? Can I get an FTG? Oops. Oh, what'd I do there? Hang on, that's not what I wanted to do. What the hell did I do? Oh, I accidentally made this. We fix that. Okay, hang on. And there we go. All right. They can't take credit for it. That's why they're mad. And because they want power. They can't have power if they're not in office. I was trying to do an FTG for the Democrats again. Anyway, let's keep going on this.
Those that don't support him struggle to show weakness in the economy. But I think that's where they're going to take this election campaign.
So Frank, Trump could say 2 + 2 is 3, and his supporters would agree. He could say 2 + 2 is 4, and his detractors would say he's lying.
Exactly.
So what does that say?
No. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think if Trump said 2 + 2 is 3, they would look at him going, did you misspeak? What are you talking about here? But if they say 2 + 2 is 4, Trump supporters are going to say, yes, 2 + 2 is 4. But the Democrats aren't going to say 2 + 2 is 4 if Trump says it. If Trump says the sky is blue, you lied. It's actually aqua. Or it's actually sky blue. And then the Washington Post would put it in their list of 16,000 lies. No, the sky isn't really blue. The sky is actually white, but you see refractions of the sunlight through the gases that create the sky. But the light that you're actually seeing is actually white. The sky's not blue. That's a lie. And every time you say it, if you say it 10 times in the same speech, we're going to add in 10 more lies to our list of 16,000. Oh, 16,010 lies now because you said it 10 times.
Say about us, where we are in this moment. Are we going to look back at 150 years and you know, when the aliens come, they're going to look back at a history book and say, man, that was a weird time.
Before Frank answers this, have you ever read how nasty politics has been in history? How it's just completely nasty. I mean, you know, the freedom of the press that we enjoy so much, how completely and utterly nasty it was in the 1800s when the country was first formed and people would just print out bullshit lies, right? But they could because it's freedom of the press, and they would smear each other. I mean, it was I should dig some stuff up for that. It's incredible. So it's not gonna, people are gonna look back and not even remember. They're not gonna remember. Okay. Hi, Reese Donald. Hi, Mr. Dax.
I don't know if they're going to say it's a weird time. I do know they are going to say that we have reached the breaking point. It does not help the situation where the Democrats have still not reported the Iowa results from 36 hours ago. It does not help that in the State of the Union have the Speaker of the House tearing up the speech. She knew what she was doing. She was looking at her members as she did it. She knew she was on camera. She was trying to make...
planned it. She pre-notched these pieces of paper so she could do it easily when she looked at the cameras.
Make a statement about Donald Trump. That's the problem, Brian.
And when she did that, she also tore up all the good things in the speech, all the good people in that speech. I've got a bookmark here somewhere about that, of what she tore up. She tore up all those guests. And I don't care if she hates Rush Limbaugh, because Rush Limbaugh was really the only controversial person that Donald Trump brought to that speech. Every other person on there were just normal Americans who do their shit from day to day and have different things going for them, different things going against them. And we celebrated those people. Okay? And that's what she tore up when she ripped those sheets of paper in half. Okay? And I don't give a shit that she doesn't represent, she's not up there representing the Democrats. That's the other part that she doesn't get. Okay? She's not there to represent the Democrats. She is up there to represent the House of Representatives. So there's some, yes, Trump has many, many, many decorum issues, but not during the State of the Union address. Could he have gone up to there and acted a damn fool? Absolutely, but he didn't, did he? He acted as presidential as Donald Trump can act. And he can absolutely act presidential at times. Now, did she act as professional or whatever as a Speaker of the House could in that situation? Hell no. If it were the other way around and it were Republican up there and a Democratic president that I didn't care for, I would be completely and utterly embarrassed. And you got that from those phone calls on C-SPAN. They were embarrassed by her behavior. She made Democrats look like fools. Not the cheering monkeys who are all excited that she did it on Twitter either. Okay? Twitter is not the world. There's a limited number of people who are on Twitter all the time. In fact, all the people on Twitter, apparently, I can't remember the stat, like 3% of the people who are actually on Twitter represent about 90% of the tweets on Twitter. You know, it's the partisans. No, let's talk about who you have to impress to remain in power. You got to impress the people who aren't partisans, the people in the middle. Not even the people in the middle. You got to impress the Democrats who don't pay attention. You got to impress the Republicans who don't pay attention. You got to impress the independents who don't pay attention, but are going to see your actions. And I'm glad she did it because it's bad for the Democrats. So, and I'm not complaining, because go ahead, make an ass of yourself. And let the partisans cheer you on and make you think you did something smart. I'm just telling you. That's why I watch C-SPAN instead of CNN. That's why I watch C-SPAN instead of Fox News. That's why I watch C-SPAN for these things instead of MSNBC, ABC, NBC, or anyone else who's going to have pundits on there. I don't care what the pundits think, because I already know what the pundits think. They are set in their ways. The people calling in on C-SPAN are just your normal everyday people. They are not asshole.
Everybody's trying to make a statement, and nobody is trying to make a difference.
What about the president not shaking hands with her?
Oh, wow. Did you hear that line? Everybody. Is trying. I put it in the chat. Everybody's trying to make a statement. Nobody is trying to make a difference. Well, there's one person who's trying to make a difference in that venue. And he is making a difference. And that's why it's why I'm not a never Trumper anymore. I was a never Trumper 3 years ago or 4 years ago, whatever when the election was, 4 years ago. I was a never Trumper. I'm not a never Trumper anymore. Okay? Sorry, assholes.
Think that was on purpose? She looked miffed.
I do not know.
Wait a minute. What did she ask?
Purpose?
Wait.
Miffed.
That's the problem, Brian. Everybody's trying to make a statement, and nobody is trying to make a difference.
What about the president not shaking hands with her? Do you think that was on purpose?
Oh.
Miffed.
I do not know. You know what? I don't think things happen by mistake. I think things happen.
You know what? Here's my opinion. And of course, this is, that not shaking hands with Nancy Pelosi, that's a Rorschach test, just like everything else. And since I tend to lean towards I lean towards Trump on things, on a lot of things, most things. But as I watch that, and he has the two folders, he hands the folder to Mike Pence with his right hand, doesn't reach out to shake a hand. He hands the folder to Nancy Pelosi with his right hand, doesn't reach out to shake a hand, and as he starts to turn around, she reaches her hand out. I don't think he saw it in time to actually go back and shake her hand. I don't think he really paid attention to it. Okay? He didn't shake hands with Pence, and he didn't shake hands with Pelosi. But it certainly looked like it might have been a snub, or that he just kept going. He's like, you know what? I'm going to keep going. I don't know if it was a snub. That's an interesting question. That's one of those questions you're going to get the different answers from depending on who you ask.
Happened for a reason, and we're all going too far. We're all doing too much. And I want to say this morning. The public is itself at a breaking point. In our focus group, and you can see the entire thing on the LA Times app.
Okay. Well,
it took 30 seconds for them to start yelling at each other. It took 60 seconds for the whole group to devolve. That's the problem.
Yeah, it is. And let's show another part, because another key moment, Frank, of that speech was Trump's attack on socialism. Watch this.
132 lawmakers in this room have endorsed legislation to impose a socialist takeover of our healthcare system, wiping out the private health insurance plans of 180 million very happy Americans.
Wants to swallow her dentures right now.
To those watching at home tonight, I want you to know we will never let socialism destroy American healthcare.
Now, it's interesting on that one because the Republicans and Democrats, the Democrats really didn't do much standing up and cheering. But there was a whole section in the back around the Democrats that also stood up and clapped for that one. And I think maybe they'll see if they show it here. I don't know if they will. Okay, you can't see it there because from that angle, but when you're watching the actual State of the Union, they're showing the entire audience, and there was a whole bunch of Democrats in the back that were also standing up and clapping for that one. That really surprised me too. Good morning, Six. How you doing? Anyway.
All right. I mean, again, Frank, you're saying one thing, and half the people in the country are cheering, the other half are throwing stuff at their television. In your travels, have you found people to be any more accepting than a couple of years ago, or are we just entrenching even more, and
what?
Nobody's ever going to change their mind about anything?
Even the coverage is...
I don't want to change my mind about that. Why should I change my mind about that? I work a little bit extra on a whole nother place so that I don't have to worry about my health insurance. Yeah, health insurance isn't a right. If you need health insurance, that's your responsibility. One of your responsibilities in life. Maybe have a cheaper phone and pay health insurance premiums instead. Or maybe, now granted, I don't even have a problem that we have programs for people who are actually in poverty or whatever to make sure that they have some basic health care. But you know what? And this is me with that. You don't have the right to someone else's time and their energy. Now if you I know a lot of people have a different thoughts about this, but that's my personal thoughts. It's like, yes, is it smart to have health care for people that can't afford it? Yes. But I don't want some of these other systems we have, Hey, Johnny Hellcat, happy day after your birthday. And while you get coffee, hey, good man, I got my coffee right here. Anyway.
Overhyped. It's overcaffeinated. So if you are a left-leaning newspaper, Donald Trump this morning, everybody hated the speech. If you're a right-leaning newspaper, it's a brilliant speech. Our group actually thought that Donald Trump was not inappropriate. They did not think that he was overly partisan. They thought it was a campaign speech for 2020, which obviously it was. But I'm afraid that the people who report the news are actually missing what the voters themselves are saying. We had two undecided voters. They moved towards Trump after the speech was done.
Frank, I just wanted to, for the viewer who's listening, so at this time of the morning, a lot of people are like getting ready and they're not looking at the TV. If you're hearing the parts of this Trump speech that we're playing, we're showing these results. If they're red, they're Republicans responding to the speech, and they're rising most of the time, and the Greens are the Democrats, and they're declining most of the time, reflecting what you were describing as their reaction.
Yeah,
tell us about the
Donald
fight
Trump
that we teased, that we played. That was astounding to watch. There in the room, they started screaming at each other.
Yes, and it lost control. I know you can see it on the screen right now. And it is easily triggered. All you have to do is talk about health care, talk about the economy, talk about tax cuts. Up until now, up until this election, people could disagree without being disagreeable. In this election, everything is a fight. Everything is a brawl. Nobody's listening. Everybody's speaking. Everyone is shouting. And the problem is, I don't see this getting any better over the coming months.
Yeah, well, that's because they all spent. I bet all those people in that group probably spend time on Twitter. Hey, Mike Savage, how you doing? I see you popped in there too. That's because now everyone, Twitter ruined the world. By the way, just FYI, Twitter has ruined the world. I'm saying it here first. Well, I'm not the first one to say it, but anyway. All right, let's get out of this because I don't want to watch any more of this. Interesting. If you want to find that focus group, I don't know if they have a place you can go. They don't have a link in this. They don't have a link to that focus group. I would love to watch that with the focus group. Apparently, you can watch it on some LA Times app or something like that. But we're not going to go there. I might look for it and see if I can maybe do it on the weekend. So anyway. Let's get into Twitter trends because it's that time and I got to get the hell out of Dodge. Now, let's see. By the way, real quick, also, thank you, Shiagrath, for... Oh, you got something... hashtag! We're going to the hashtag first, guys, because I always forget the hashtag. All right, let's go on here. Oh, dude. Okay, so there's not a whole lot of new stuff on the hashtag. Oh, wait. Oh, I need the latest. No wonder. I'm like, I've seen all this. All right, let's see. On the hashtag today. Pamela Anderson separates from husband in 12 days. Shocker. That's from a few days ago. Also, update as of 3rd of February, 20,438 cases, 425 deaths, 632 cured, 2,788 severe cases, 23,214 suspected cases reported by China, 221,015 people have been traced, 12,755 of them were released from medical observation, while 171,329 under medical observation. Yeah. Now I read something the other day that they say 425 have died, and that it could be as many as 24,425. Now that's a conspiracy theory, I'm sure, but that there's a way larger number of cases than they're actually telling you. Keep an eye on this story as closely as you can. I'm not buying. I'm not buying it. Twitter Live is on my hashtag for some reason. Anyway, here's this important story from the Toronto Sun. Super Bowl streaking Instagram model flashes butt and gets arrested. Oh, now that's some important news. Thank you, Piccolo, from the Toronto Sun. A 27-year-old Instagram model who allegedly tried to streak across the field at Super Bowl 54 Sunday addressed the incident in a recent social media post. Do you want, when you want, life's too short to have regrets. Oh, so streaking is something you really want to do. Thanks for the NFL for having me. Really? They had you? Okay. Kelly K. Green wrote in the caption of her post, sharing several pictures of her being led off the field of Miami's Hard Rock stadium, as well as one of her being tackled to the ground. Green didn't even make it into the Kansas City Chiefs end zone before being taken down, but it's her exit from the stadium that has people talking. Social media video of the incident shows Green being escorted off the field before she managed to pull up her dress, bearing her butt to the crowd, getting cheers. And here's the incident if you want to see. I hope I don't get an indecency strike for this, but here she is being, apparently she was tackled, and looks like they're going to try to get her off the field. Let's see here. How long is this video? It's 33 seconds. All right, we'll see. And there she goes. And, she pulls her dress up, and there's her dong, da dong, dong, dong. What were we talking about the thong song the other day? All right. That's the excitement from the Super Bowl, and she is interesting. Okay. What else we got in the hashtag real quick? There's one more. Oops, here we go. Bye, Mitt. Utah legislature prepares senator recall process. Thank you, Becca Farley, for this one. Apparently, the new measure could be used to remove Mitt Romney from office. Wow. They're getting serious. Apparently, I thought Mitt would be safe in Utah, but maybe not. Holy moly. Bye, Mitt. As Mitt Romney grandstands in the U.S. Senate's doomed Trump impeachment trial, in an effort to demonstrate his own moral superiority, a la John McCain, the Utah legislature is mulling a measure that would allow the state citizen to recall their senators. The measure could hypothetically be used to recall Mitt Romney from office. Such a possibility is an acute irony, considering Romney appears to be the only Republican senator enthusiastic about impeaching President Donald Trump. Representative Tim Quinn of Heber City introduced the bill in the State House. Utah doesn't currently have a process to recall sitting U.S. senators, a problem his legislation would solve. He says the bill isn't designed with any specific senator in mind, but it's hard not to imagine the measure being used to impeach Romney, considering the Never Trump senator's extreme unpopularity in his own state. All right, so the Utah legislature. What's that song from The Sound of Music? Something about what do you do about a girl like Maria? But substitute Romney. All right. And then let's see. I think there's one more. And then there's one more. Blowoutcards.com. Hang on. I'm going to. I know Piccolo wouldn't accidentally send me something that I shouldn't show on the screen, but I want to know what this is first. Blowout card. Oh, Garbage Pail Kids. Disgusting race to the White House. Okay. Disgrace to the White House. Iowa cop. Okay. I'm sure this is safe. Topps has revealed the first set of 2020 Garbage Pail Kids disgrace to the White House stickers that it will produce this year. It all starts with the Iowa caucus pack. Wait, what? Did I say Pincalo? What did I mean? Oh, I'm sorry. This is a Sheograph. My bad. I read it wrong. Sorry, Sheograph. This is from Sheograph. Thank you, Sheograph. I appreciate you. I really do. Here's the first one. Warren, where she writes loser across everyone else's head. This one offers up 6 subjects with a pair of takes on the satirical stars. All but one are in the gallery below, and they include takes on Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, Mike Bloomberg, Donald Trump, and the Iowa caucus winner, until we get another count, Pete Buttigieg. The Iowa set checklist: 1A, Socialist Sanders, Blue Collar Bernie, Warren, Electable Elizabeth, Joe Malarkey, Balderdash Biden, Puppet Pete, Booty Duty, Muddy Mike, Billionaire Bloomberg, Tampering Trump, Disrupting Don. Okay, so click here. Let's see. There's one. That's the Socialist Sanders. He's blocking the 99 Club, a billionaire, whatever, hideout. Let's see. Okay, there's that one. Oh, is this going to be... Let's see. And we saw the Warring Warren. Here's Joe Malarkey. Welcome to Iowa, the No Malarkey bus tour. Okay. We've got... gosh, these... All right, this is taking a long time to click. Money Mike sold. He's spending his money trying to get elected. Yes, okay. All right, I'm going to put a link to this in the chat because these take a really long time to load. This is kind of funny, though. Thank you, Shiagraph. That's hilarious. I think that is funny that the Garbage Pail Kids are jumping in on the thing. Let's see what they did for... okay, that's money. Okay. Oh, here's the one of them. This would be disrupting Don. Vote out of order season. Oh, see, Don's hiding back here behind the voting machine. He pulled the plug out. Oh, isn't that cute? Well, at least they did equal opportunity ribbing on the presidential candidates. All right, real quick, let's get into the news of the day. What's on the Explore tab today? New York residents can no longer sign up for global entry, DHS chief says. What the hell does that mean? DHS is suspending enrollment in global entry and several other programs for all New York State residents, a move considered to be in response to the state's recently enacted sanctuary green light law, acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf said on Fox News. So let's see. So it will suspend the ability of New York residents to enroll or re-enroll in such programs as Global Entry, which allows faster processing for pre-approved travelers entering the United States. Oh, so that's, yeah. I've actually used that when I traveled out of the country. I had a special thing that allowed me for a quicker processing with my passport. Okay, and they're not allowing that for New Yorkers because of their sanctuary city law. Wow. Okay. For all New York residents. Ooh, that's gonna leave a mark. It's gonna piss some people off. Here's part of the letter sent by DHS. Due to the act's negative impact on department operations, DHS will immediately take the following actions. Trusted traveler programs, Global Entry, Nexus, Sentry, and FAST. Because the act prevents DHS from accessing New York DMV records in order to determine whether a TTP applicant or reapplicant meets your program eligibility requirements, New York residents will no longer be eligible to enroll or re-enroll in CBP's Trusted Traveler Program. Yeah, because they're giving licenses to illegal aliens, and you can't vet illegal aliens if they come in the country illegally. So you can't rely on their driver's license anymore. That's FTG to the whoever came up with the damn... Where's my bell? Did my bell ring? Oh, I did ring. Did I ring it more than once? Yeah, there we go. Hey, if we can't trust your driver's licenses in New York because you give them to illegal aliens and you have this sanctuary program, you can't participate in this program. That makes perfectly sense. And then also, vehicle exports. Because the act hinders DHS from validating documents used to establish vehicle ownership, the exporting of used vehicles titled and registered in New York will be significantly delayed and could also be costlier. So that for people who are trying to export like cars to Canada or whatever. Oh well, do I feel here? FTG to the state of New York. Here, FTG. Sorry, people. Good. Yeah, DHS bans New Yorkers from using programs to quickly get through airport security over state sanctuary law. My heart is bleeding for New Yorkers. Let's get into the trends now. Trending number one is the National Prayer Breakfast. Trump criticizes political rivals during National Prayer Breakfast remarks. Well, yeah, I'm glad you made it all about Trump. Okay? I'm sure that was the only thing that happened at the National Prayer Breakfast. The incomparable CeCe Winans closing out the National Prayer Breakfast. Together we prayed for unity, for strength, to love our enemies, and for God to heal our land. That is Senator Ted Cruz who wrote that. Here's CeCe Winans.
Still on she came through the shade that flushed her face until at last she knelt before his feet.
Now you know what's going to happen. CeCe Winans, if you're not familiar with BB and CeCe Winans, they're famous gospel singers, right? I got a feeling that CeCe Winans is going to get dragged today for being at the National Prayer Breakfast with the president, because that would be enabling this fool in the White House. Red Castry, how you doing? As a resident of New York, I am glad to hear about DHS putting those measures in place. Hey, you know what? What are you gonna do if your driver's license are no longer secure because you give them to whoever wants them, or at least if you don't somehow make some kind of designation to whether or not the people with your driver's license are legal U.S. citizens? Well, sorry, we can't trust your driver's license. No more easy entry. Sorry. Nancy Pelosi rips Trump's speech 2 seconds after he's done talking. Slay Queen. Trump boasts about his acquittal during the National Prayer Breakfast. This is despicable. Has he no shame? But then Brit Hume says, standing ovation for Trump as he's introduced at the National Prayer Breakfast. Even Nancy Pelosi stands and applauds. Trump uses platform to renew his complaints about impeachment, calls Dems involved corrupt and Republicans courageous. Okay, maybe he shouldn't have used the National Prayer Breakfast to do that. But hey, you know what I said? He's not real good with norms either. Trump turns the nonpartisan National Prayer Breakfast into a campaign rally as he shows off props, newspaper front pages with Trump acquitted headlines. Trump is still only the third president in U.S. history to be impeached. Well, he's the third in history to be acquitted too. So there you go. How many of you love someone with whom you disagree politically? Asked David Brooks. Almost all hands go up at National Prayer Breakfast. Trump stays down. Well, he's not there to answer questions, I guess. All right, so he's happy that he's acquitted. You know what? It's his first public appearance since being acquitted. That's why it's trending #1. Moving on, Thursday Thoughts, as opposed to Thursday Thoughts, or maybe in addition to Thursday Thoughts, it's a great stock market via Jim Cramer. Okay, that's something about Newsbusters put on. That's not a thought, though. That's Liberty Nation says socialism belongs in the dustbins of history and should never be resuscitated as a suitable replacement to free market capitalism, according to Andrew Liberty. Chase shirts on sale. Socialism takes nosedives. We're not going to read it. Hey! Remembering Rob Nesta Marley, OM, who would have celebrated his 75th birthday today, 6th of February. I did not realize he was that. Now, I didn't realize he was that young when he was popular. So anyway, Bob Marley's birthday today. That's a Thursday thought. Let's see here. No amount of worrying can change the future. Go easy on yourself, for the outcome of all affairs is determined by God's decree. If something is meant to go elsewhere, it will never come your way. But if it's yours by destiny, from you it cannot flee. I'm gonna disagree with that a little bit. I think you pursue things that are important to you, and if you pursue them hard enough, you may not get there, but you will be a better person for your efforts. That's my personal opinion as far as things like that. And then finally, here's a cute little Thursday thought. Oh my gosh. So you think that, oh my God. If you think that this is cute, sometimes you better beware. Oh my God. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, moving on from Thursday Thoughts, because I'm going too slow here. Mitt Romney, American Heroes, trending #3. Oh, the Democrats all of a sudden love Mitt Romney, who they were calling a Nazi and a racist and an animal cruelty, and everything they were saying. Remember when he ran against Obama, how he was a racist just because he was running against Barack Obama? But now Mitt Romney is an American hero. The Foo, PolitiBuddy, my friend on Twitter, says, all I can think about while reading this tag is how these are the same people who accused him of being a sexist, dog-killing, rich white guy who hated the poor because he was honest about them not paying taxes. Mitt waking up this morning to this hashtag. Yes, he's got to be excited. Honesty and decency still exist in Congress. Well, not from the House managers. Oh, so did I say that out loud? Ms. Krasenstein. Now, this is hilarious. Ms. Krasenstein. Okay, so remember the Krasenstein brothers? Well, one of them tweets under his wife's Twitter handle now. It's sad that Mitt Romney is called a hero just for doing what is right. The GOP has fallen so far that doing the right thing now makes senators heroes. This should be the norm, not a rarity. Yeah, you and your, binders and women. Thank you, Advocatus Diablo and Cynical Lindsay, for both bringing that one up. Yeah, because he was trying to hire, he was trying to be a non-sexist and make sure that he had, qualified women to hire. So he said something about, yes, we had binders full of women that we were, considering for different things because we wanted to be inclusive. And they even made him a sexist for saying that. So whatever. I seldom agree with Mitt Romney, but he's earned my respect. He had the courage to throw himself in front of the GOP Trump smear machine in order to do the right thing. Romney is an actual conservative patriot, looks like. Morning Joe, Mitt Romney, American hero. Whatever. He's not a hero, nor is he a villain. He's just Mitt Romney. All right, moving on. Leon Rose trending in the NBA. That might be somebody who got traded. The Knicks turning their team over. To Leon Rose and World Wide West. Almost broke my brain. It's actually smart. I can't believe it. Let's see. Reporting with Ramon Sherman, CAA player agent Leon Rose has emerged as a top target to run the New York Knicks basketball operations. The Knicks are pathetic if you know anything about it in professional basketball. Not only are they pathetic, but they're also the highest valued basketball franchise in the NBA, which is surprising. Surprising. You'd think the Lakers would be, but nope, the Knicks are, and yet they are a pathetic organization, so that should be pretty good for the New York Knicks. Moving on. Number 5, Gayle King is trending. Oh my gosh. Black Twitter is very, very, very angry with Gayle King right now. Because Gayle King, in an interview with some woman, was really just, she started asking Lisa Leslie. She was interviewing Lisa Leslie. They were talking about Kobe Bryant. And Gayle King just started talking about his rape case from whatever many years ago and wouldn't let it go. And Black Twitter is all over that. They are mad. And they're not happy with Oprah just because she's friends with Gayle King. Are we really surprised? The agenda with Gayle King and Oprah is real. They will destroy black men, dead or alive. It's easier if they're dead because they cannot defend themselves. That's kind of the... Oh, did she? She's clarifying about the interview now. Let's see this, because people were pissed at her for this.
I'm up reading the comments about the interview I did with Lisa Leslie about Kobe Bryant. And I know that if I had only seen the clip that you saw, I'd be extremely angry with me too. I am mortified, I'm embarrassed, and I am very angry. Unbeknownst to me, my network put up a clip from a very wide-ranging interview.
Don't blame it on don't blame it on your network. If it was part of the interview, it was part of the interview. Okay? Now, could people possibly be overreacting? That's possible. It could be a wide-ranging interview. But don't blame the network.
Taken out of context.
It's an interview, and it's a section of the interview. And let's go.
When you see it that way, it's very jarring. It's jarring to me. I didn't even know anything about it. I started getting calls. What the hell are you doing? Why did you say this? What is happening? I did not know what people are talking about. So I've been told, or I've been advised, to say nothing. Just let it go. People will drag you. People will troll you. It'll be over in a couple of days. But that's not good enough for me, because I really want people to understand what happened here and how I'm feeling about it. I reached out to Lisa because I know that she's a longtime friend of Kobe's, to talk about his legacy and their friendship. We had a really wide-ranging interview, talked about many things: his career, his passion, his sense of humor, the way he was mentoring other people, how he was starting his next chapter. It was wide-ranging. And yes, we talked about that court case, because that court case has also come up. And I wanted to get Lisa's take on it as a friend who knew him well.
Okay, but why would you ask her about it? Seriously? I don't know. And you know what? Maybe you should ask her about it, but people are still going to be mad about it. I'm not going to. That's enough of that. Anyway, that's why Gayle Kings is trending, and it just blowed up. It's been blown up for 2 days. Thursday motivation. I was going to skip Thursday motivation. I accidentally clicked it. But there. Oh, cute cat pics. Cute cat pics on Thursday motivation. Aww. Everyone say aww. Everybody say aww. All right. After that, Gayle Kings. Bernie won Iowa. Uh-oh. Hashtag Bernie won Iowa. People are still mad about Iowa. Y'all remember how Pete the Cheat. They're calling it Pete the Cheat now. Remember how Pete the Cheat claimed victory before a single precinct was reported? Y'all really want a POTUS like that? Launching military operations without any of the pertinent info? I don't either. Hashtag Bernie won Iowa. Oh, so they don't. There's still 3% left, and they're like neck and neck at least. But here's the thing. It's not like it's winner take all in Iowa. It just means you get delegates to the Iowa convention, and then they fight it out again. So if you might have a couple more delegates, but who knows is going to change their mind between the time that they actually start casting votes. This is silly. LOL, New York Times within the last 24 hours. Here's this. Here, full screen that. Forecast, who will win Iowa? It was 100% Buttigieg. Then the election deal, now it's now 52% Sanders, so that's been changing. Let's see, anything else on here? Bernie won. Here's my caucus locations in Scott County. Any questions? Bernie won Iowa. Well, yeah, you took a picture of where the Bernie signs were. But I don't doubt that Bernie won Iowa. I'm telling you, the DNC does not want Bernie to win Iowa. The DNC does not want Bernie as their nominee, and they... We learned that in 2016, remember? Remember those? Somehow we got some emails. Remember that? Something about some emails, and they were on some leaky thingy, water leaks, or werewolf leaks, or wombat leaks, whatever that's called. Remember that? And all we've talked about for 3 years is the Trump-Russian collusion, and not was in those emails where they said that the DNC was fucking Bernie over. I'm not a Bernie fan, and I'm still saying they were fucking Bernie over. Yeah, remember that? So the DNC doesn't want them, so hey, FTG to the DNC. Moving on. Worldwide Wes. Okay, that's another, that has to do with the Knicks too. Not only they're hiring CAA agent Leon Rose as their next president, are also expected to bring in power broker William Wesley. So the Knicks are making moves, trying to get better. Enough of that. Mewtwo, happy birthday. Oh, Mewtwo? What the hell is Mewtwo? Is that some K-pop shit? Or is that what? On this day, oh, I see. That's a Pokemon character. On this day in the world of Pokemon, an important birth. Happy birthday to Mewtwo. Mewtwo. Something like that. Mewtwo? Anyway, it's happy birthday to a Pokemon character is trending. Okay. 2 Corinthians. Oh, gosh. National Prayer Breakfast. Oh, these are people who are pissing and moaning about Donald Trump. 2 Corinthians. A guy who cheated on his first wife and a second wife, cheated on his second wife with his third wife, and cheated on his third wife with a porn star while she was still pregnant with their child, just led our National Prayer Day. Okay, he's the president of the United States. What are you going to do? Many people at the National Prayer Breakfast are saying the 2 Corinthians would have wanted to stone me for adultery. Thankfully, we're more modern now and only use the Bible to punish women and the gays. That's the Donald Trump parody account. So, 2 Corinthians walk into a motel room. Now that's actually funny. I'm sorry, it's funny. I hear that he does quote from 2 Corinthians. Likelihood of Nancy Pelosi praying for Trump is about the same as the likelihood of Satan running around quoting the scriptures. I'm not sure what 2 Corinthians is. I'm not that up on the Bible. Anyone who would call it 2 Corinthians is a total fraud. You know what? In church, sometimes when they're quoting passages, they'll just say the number and the name, saying that is in place of the 2nd chapter of Corinthians. Sorry, it's not unusual. Go to hell. Whatever. The family's trending. Don't know what that's about. Imagine how afraid my son is. The family of Gannon Stouch, an 11-year-old Colorado boy missing for 11 days, makes a gut-wrenching plea for anyone with information on their son's disappearance to come forward. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. Anything about prayer, folks? Watch networks or read The Family to see what this holy roller breakfast is really about. Allah, may you always bless the beautiful souls of husbands who work hard for the family. I don't know why. I think The Family is trending because there's a show called The Family. Yes, on Netflix. So there's a show. If you want to understand they're saying to watch this show called The Family about the National Prayer Breakfast. If you want to understand the National Prayer Breakfast, watch The Family on Netflix. It isn't about faith, it's about power. We need to bring back separation of church and state. Okay. I'm not necessarily 100% against that either, but it is what it is. Global entry, we already talked about that. Barley 75 today, we already talked about that. MEAC is, there's probably something, A&T hurt the culture with that move. I'm still a diehard, but dang man, the MEAC is what made us. It's like me transferring after my sophomore year. So apparently the, let's see, North Carolina A&T Aggies expect to announce Friday that they will leave the MEAC and join the Big South Conference. That's so a lot of people talking about that who are involved with those conferences. Li Wenliang, the Chinese doctor who surrounded the alarm on the coronavirus. What about him? A story in the New York Post. He's dead from the disease at age 34. Oh boy. Hi, Mr. Scott. Hi, Great Thunder to Mighty. The guy, oh gosh. The Chinese doctor who tried to issue the first warnings about the deadly coronavirus outbreak in Wuhan, only to be reprimanded by police, died Thursday of the infection, officials said. We're deeply saddened by the okay. Everybody hold your ass because coronavirus is coming to a town near you. Many men, that's a hip hop thing. I'm skipping it. Rest in peace, Diego. Diego Farias, I'm not sure who. I see. Rest in peace, Diego. Thought we lost this motherfucker. Okay, no, that's not it. I don't know who Diego Farias. Oh, guitar player, producer, all around great guy. He was in some band. I can't remember the name of the band, but people are mourning his death today. All right, let's check out the last few. Tornado is trending. Snow week, tornado next week. Woo, God, I'm not ready for the rapture. There's severe tornado warning, and right when school alarms went off, co-star fucking sends me this. Your day at a glance, the apocalypse is already here. Parents worried about the safety of their high school kids. Meanwhile, as college kids are hiking through knee-deep water through a tornado watch while it's pouring rain. So there's a tornado warning somewhere in North Carolina, Charlotte. Okay, so if you're in the Charlotte area, there is a tornado warning. Watch the weather in the eastern section of Carolina. That's the last one. And then the last one's Big South, which is that football conference thing. I can skip that. So, Hey everybody, thank you so much for being here on the Morning Night Live. It's been a whole bunch. I didn't realize how many people were here today. This is a pretty big group. Thanks for watching today. I am here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. GMT for all you people in the other parts of the world, like Richo, like Peter Almond. There's and a bunch of people who come here from other parts of the world, Renovatio. I really appreciate my international audience too, even though I mostly talk about American politics and the social issues. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad all of you are here. Please remember on your way out, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button, the thumbs up down there, except for Duck Dog, who has exclusive permission to hit the thumbs down button. Also, hit the share arrow, share this out to your friends. And if you'd like to support the show monetarily, some voluntary reparations, or to replenish my coffee fund or my new studio fund, because I'm building a studio in my basement because my wife wants the studio out of the dining room. If you want to contribute, you can always do that through the Streamlabs links in the description down below. Plus, your comment will be read live on the show on the Morning Night Live. You'll become a permanent part of the Morning Night Live with your super chat. So thank you everybody for coming today, but I do have to get out of here. I'm so glad we had this time together. Okay, I'm not going to sing the rest of that. I got to go. I got to go. My name is PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here.